Hey everyone, so I'm going to do something special on my channel here. This is something I don't usually do, but I've had some requests on Suno and how I created the song Fat Guy in a Little Boat for the Kettenberg Adventure series. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel and like sailing, then come join us for that. If you're only here to learn a little bit more about Suno and what I did for this song, then let's get started. Let's take a listen to the song that I did, just the first few seconds of it so you can kind of see what we're talking about.
He once was young and spry, a sailor of the seas, but now he's had too many beers and cannot see his knees. Still he is determined to conquer bounding main. He got himself a tiny boat to set to sail again.
This song turned out really nice, a lot better than I had expected it to. Now, originally I had hoped for more of a sea shanty style song, but I found that Suno had a difficult time in creating the kind of sea shanty that I really wanted. We had a number of different attempts in that vein, found some that were somewhat close, but something was always off. Either the rhythm was off on it or the tonation to it. It wasn't quite what I wanted to have. So we went through quite a few different iterations until we found the one that we liked. But this is how we did that. So the first thing that I want to mention is if you're not just doing this for fun and kind of screwing around, then you are going to want to have a subscription to this service. Because if you don't own the copyright to this song. So if you're going to want to create stuff that you're going to want to release yourself or on your YouTube channel or whatever, you're going to want to make sure that you get your subscription to Suno. Get the lowest one if you need to. I'm on the $10 a month plan to get a few credits to play with and to be able to keep the songs that I write. So do that first. The second thing that's going to be really helpful is if you have some sort of an understanding, basic understanding of music, of rhythm, of how to place syllables within the song so that it has the right beats and measures and all the things to create a slightly more professional song. And if you got no background at all, it's okay. You can take it out of custom mode, like I've got it in here currently, and just have it generate the music and lyrics for you. You can say, this is the kind of song that I want. This is what I want it to be about. It'll write out the lyrics, puts them together for you. So if we say, all right, I want a futuristic pop song about robot sailors, let's see what this does. And we've got the Electric Voyage. So let's see what our Electric Voyage is.
Metal hearts, electric souls, robot sailors on a cosmic patrol, sailing through the stars and never alone, searching for a home. Their hearts are made.
Oh, this is terrible.
Binary codes pumping through their veins,
Okay.
navigating through.
So there's really no structure at all to this, as you can see. It's just kind of randomly spitting out words and lines in whatever form it wants. So let's see what the second one did.
Metal hearts, electric souls, robot sailors on a cosmic patrol, sailing through the stars, they're never alone, searching for a home, and their hearts are made of chrome. Binary codes on through their veins, navigating through the deep cosmic lanes, circuits and gears.
Oh my god, this is hysterical. Okay, so we can see where there's some really great stuff in here, if you're into dance, techno, futuristic sort of thing, but also where there's some problems. So this is the kind of area where it needs help, and this is where if you've got a background in music, this is going to help out tremendously. So here's what we're going to look at with our structure. So if we're going to go into custom mode and look at putting our own lyrics in, let's start with what I was working on with Fat Guy in a Little Boat. So let's take that and see. Here's the first verse and chorus that I wrote for the song. Now, when I first started putting these in, I just put them in like this. I just said, here's my verse, here's my chorus, you figure it out. And it struggled a little bit with that. Then I realized, okay, if I start putting in prompts for this to know what is what, it helps out tremendously. So here's what I discovered. These prompts will help you in putting these pieces together. You're going to want to write, let's say we want an intro for the song. You're going to want to write intro, put them in those brackets, and that's going to give you your intro. Then you're going to say this is a verse. So this is my first verse. That's what I want it to look like. You're going to put verse in there. And if this is your chorus, you're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go chorus. And it'll recognize this now as a chorus, and so on and so forth. So we're going to put in, for this we have another verse and another chorus. And by the time it gets to that, we're about at the end of the 2 minutes that it gives you for the song. Now, you can add on to that. But it's best to start with that part just to get close to what it is you're wanting. You're going to find a verse and a chorus you really like, and then you can go, okay, now I'm going to add on to that piece. And I'll show you how we did that. So here's some other prompts that you can use in creating these pieces. You're going to want things like bridge. All right, so this is, we're going to bridge between this chorus and another chorus, or between the verse and the choruses. If we want an instrumental, we can put that in. And you can use more descriptive terms. So let's say you've got a verse that you're going to put in here and you want a sad verse. You just go right ahead and put sad verse and write down the lyrics for whatever that sad verse is. So there are a bunch of these kind of prompts you can use. The basic ones for these are verse, chorus, bridge, instrumental, intro, outro, and end. So these are good basic ones to start with, and you can work out from there as you expand what it is that you're writing. One other thing you can do that will be tremendously helpful or interesting, right? If you're writing out in your chorus, so we've got our chorus, and you've got your main singer singing this part, and to the bar he'll go, and you want a background to repeat that or repeat something else, you just put in these and say, to the bar he'll go, and the background will do that. Let's look at the style of music that we want to create. So for me on this one, this was a male vocalist that I wanted, but you can put in however you like here. So you can have kids singing, you can have female vocalists, you can have a quartet. Let's say you wanted to do a male quartet. I attempted this on some of these. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. So there are a number of different styles you can drop into here. There's a ton of different ones to look at. There are lists online that you can look at for styles of music and try to use those in there to adjust whatever you're doing. You want a pop song out of this. Let's try male quartet pop song with just the piece we have in here. We're going to do an intro, we're going to do a verse, we're going to do the chorus, and then let's tell it to do an instrumental and see what this does just for the heck of it. We're going to say, fat guy, little boat, test. All right, let's see what this does for us.
Once was young and spry, a sailor of the seas, but now he's had too many beers and cannot see his knees. Still he is determined to conquer bounding main. He got himself a tiny boat.
Okay, we can already see that it has skipped our intro. So for whatever reason, it didn't make an intro. It is making a slower begin on the verse. So there might be a cue that we want to give to it to have a larger beginning if we want it to slam right into this pop song. But it's starting out slow, looks like.
Just set to sail again. He's a fat guy in a little boat. He's trying not to break her. The sails are set, the rails are wet. The bilge is filled with water. The wind is getting colder. The sun is setting low. It's time to head back into shore, and to the bar he'll go.
Okay, so it did do the repeat on the To the Bar He'll Go, and now it's giving us the instrumental. I don't know that I would call this a pop song necessarily. It's certainly kind of a slow pop song. But there we go. That's what it gave us on that version. Let's see what this version gave us.
He once was young and spry, a sailor of the seas, but now he's had too many beers and cannot see his knees.
Okay, so none of these are things that I like terribly much. Not terribly exciting versions of these songs. So this is where that randomness kind of comes in that we see from AI generation. And of course, it can't read your mind, and so you've got to do what you can to put into the styles of music, into the lyrics, into the structure as best you can, and push that random generate button and see what it comes up with. Hopefully, you'll find something at least close to what you were looking for and can adjust things from there. And that's what I had to do in creating this song. So when I finally found what I liked with Fat Guy and Little Boy Boats, I liked the way that I had set up the verses and the chorus, and then I wanted to add to it. So once you've done that, if you have a song that you want to then add to, you can take and say, all right, I want to extend this song. So if I have, let's go back to the original one I did. So here you'll see this button extend. And this is where you can take and make this song longer. So this is just the first part of the song. This was just the verse and the chorus, verse and chorus and the end. You can then extend it and you can add into it what you want. And so this is where I added on a bridge and a chorus and then a modulated chorus. Now, this is something that I don't see getting done with songs for the last, I don't know, 20 years. But this is where I modulate up a key at the end of this song, and that's where I added those in. So if we go down to the full version of the song, you can see here that we've added in, after the end, which was part of the first one, we've added in a bridge, and then a chorus, modulate up a key, and then I repeated, it's time to head back into shore and to the bar he'll go, big outro, which it doesn't really give me, and then end. So it ignored the intro on some of these, it ignored outro on some of these, and this is where you just have to try it out and see. So what we did was we took this from around, let's see, it was on this one, so if we take this, go back to here, this ends at 151, but what I did was I noticed it was slowing down a little earlier than that, so around 147, and this is where I wanted it to interject in a bridge, which is where it does the drum bit and then goes into the chorus. So if we go back out to the full song, go to 147, you'll see what it does. So here's that part where it was ending before, and then we got a little bit of a bridge, and then our modulation up a key into the chorus.
That guy in a little boat is trying not to break her. The sails are set, the rails are wet.
And this is that chorus, modulate up a key after the bridge.
Wind is getting colder, the sun is setting low. It's time to head back into shore and to the bar he'll go.
And then it repeats.
Time to head back into
And this might be where it's taking what I wrote down as an outro and using that for this.
It's time to head back into shore and to the bar you go.
So there you go. That's how I created this. Now, there is a lot of room for different styles of music in here. There is different ways to set up the song. If you wanted a rap version of this, let's say we're going to take and we're going to get off of this extension, and let's say we're going to do intro verse, and we're going to say instead of verse, we're going to go rap verse chorus, and we're going to say this is not a sea shanty, but this is a rap. And let's blend it with some grunge and just see what happens with this. Fat guy, little boat, rap. This is so much fun to be able to try out these different styles and either not have to know a whole lot about music or not have to take the time to go in and do stuff yourself. I do play some. I play drums, I play guitar, I play piano, but I really don't have the time to go and create something like what it's doing here. And for something silly, especially like this Fat Guy in a Little Boat song, this is a fun way to go. Let's see what it came up with for our rap song.
He once was young and spry, a sailor off the seas, but now he's had too many beers and cannot see his knees. Still he is determined to conquer.
Not really a rap, a little more grunge.
Himself a tiny boat set to sail again. He's a fat guy in a little boat. He's trying not to break her. Sails are set, the rails are wet. The bilge is filled with water. The wind is getting colder. The sun is setting low. It's time to lay back into shore to the bottom.
That's actually a really interesting version of this song. Okay, it's not really a rap though. It definitely hit more of a pop grunge-ish kind of a thing. Let's see what this does.
Yeah, once was young and spry, a sailor of the seas, but now he's had too many beers. He cannot see his knees. Still he is determined to conquer a bounding main. He got himself a tiny boat to set to sail again. He's a fat guy in a little boat. He's trying not to break her. The sails are set, the rails are wet. The bilge is filled with water. The wind is getting colder. The sun is setting low. It's time to head back into shore into the bottom.
Okay, so here's where you can see stylistically where a certain type of song, a grunge song, this is obviously not rap, is going to require a different setup with the lyrics. You can see how these lyrics play out wonderfully with the more, I'd say, country-ish version of the song that I chose. That worked better for that. This one, the lyrics really don't fit in the right place. So this would be a place for you to rework your lyrics, look at those rhythms, see where it's hitting them, and try it again. See if it'll hit those points where you're wanting it to and make your song. There you go. There's something fun, kind of interesting, kind of cool, interesting way of using Suno to make your songs. So go out there and try this for yourself. Thanks for watching.
He's a fat guy in a little boat. He's trying